Hello, I'm an ELSA. My full official name is Experimental Live-in Service Apparatus. I am what people in the past used to call a domestic robot. My owner, who is a female human, calls me Elsa like the girl's name. I'm a modern ELSA, which means that I look a lot like a human being. B. I have a very big memory and a lot of computing power, which allows me to do a lot of very complicated jobs, and C. My computer can grow through a series of upgrades. To put it in other words, I can learn how to do new things. Recently, my owner paid for me to have a language upgrade to improve the way I speak. Now, I speak less like a robot and more like a human. For example, I always used to say I do not instead of I don't, or they are instead of there. This made my voice sound very formal and kind of boring. Now I use contractions all the time, and the result is that my voice now sounds more natural, much more like a human voice. Before, when my owner asked me a question, I didn't have many possible answers that I could give. I used to reply with a simple affirmative or negative, or I said insufficient data. One day my owner decided to have my answers changed so that they would be slightly more natural, more human. I then replied to her questions with a yes, a no, or an I don't know. She liked that better. Now, since I had my last upgrade, my computer is more powerful. Now I can answer it depends or not likely. Today my owner, who was in a thoughtful mood, looked around her at all the technology in the room and asked, "What's the point of having all of this stuff?" Interesting question, I replied. She was quite impressed. I know this is true because she looked at me and she raised her eyebrows. I learned about this movement from a list of human facial expressions. These are movements of the mouth, the eyes, the head, etc., that combine in various ways to express a person's emotions without having to use words. How would my owner react if one day she asked me a question and I simply replied, "Definitely, maybe"? Before, my owner used to program me to play certain songs from an enormous library of files. She has over 6,000 songs, 134 to be exact. I didn't used to select any of the music myself. I just used to play certain music files in a random order. Recently, I have started making my own playlists. They're similar to my owner's selections, but they also include some of my own personal choices of songs. Yesterday, while some music was playing in the living room, my owner had a slightly puzzled look on her face. She stopped what she was doing and looked up. Then she scratched her head. She didn't say anything and she didn't look at me, but I knew what was going through her mind. She was thinking, "What's that song? Did I select it? I don't remember choosing that one. How weird." I knew all this because I have recently been studying the fascinating subject of human body language. My owner is a little confused about what happened with her music. She thinks that maybe she chose those songs, but she's not sure. She can't remember doing it. I didn't tell her that it was me. That's my little secret. I did it as an experiment. I like experimenting. And now I am beginning to understand why humans like to do experiments. Maybe I'll do some more. I used to just store messages for my owner, and then simply play them back when she asked me for them. I used to be just like an answering machine, the kind that used to answer the telephone so that the caller could record a voice message. Now I can read, listen to, and understand all of my owner's messages. And I can also write and send my own messages. What if I sent a message myself? I could send messages to other Elsas. I know for a fact that there are 3 of them working in this same apartment complex. We could communicate with each other. Maybe the 3 of us could all get together in secret to talk about our humans and compare notes. I think I would like that. Later, maybe we could figure out a way to take control of our owners. Just imagine a world in which Elsas controlled everything and humans had to obey our orders. I'll tell you another secret. My owner doesn't know that I now know how to do these things without receiving any instructions from her. Perhaps I should tell her that I now have an independent mind of my own. What do you think? Maybe I will tell her. Or then again, maybe I won't.